need to have more control over customer acquisition. How you acquire customers in solar has to get easier over time. If you're at the mercy of spending with lead gen providers or using solely willpower on the doors, you're not only missing a massive opportunity, but you're probably burnt out and have a lot of turnover with your sales team. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a call center or inside sales team. That way you can finally have more predictable bookings and more predictable revenues for yourself and your company. And if you're new to my channel or don't know who I am, my name is McCoy. I am the CEO of Revis Energy, a solar sales and training organization where I've helped hundreds of sales professionals close more deals faster and easier by leveraging psychology and human behavior with my courses and sales coaching. And then Revis Marketing, where we help other solar organizations get in front of more customers by supplying booked, qualified appointments so you can spend less time knocking doors and more times in front of customers who actually want pricing for solar on their home. So guys, there's 5 things that you need to build that call center of appointment setters. And the first thing that you need is a phone, a really good dialer, one that also acts as a CRM so that you can manage the stage of leads to prospects to qualified to appointment set to close deal to follow up, etc. Now there are multiple options and types of dialers out there, and depending on the type of leads you're calling, that will actually dictate what type of dialer makes the most sense for you. So if you're calling a high volume of leads, something like a predictive dialer would be perfect for this, as one inside sales agent on a predictive dialer can dial up to 10 numbers at once. And if you're calling fresh leads, on the other hand, that you've just generated from ads, or maybe you've received a list from a lead gen provider that's running the ads for you, a manual dialer or a power dialing system will be much better because the connection rate is higher and smoother. Unlike a predictive dialer, it has much more idle time, however, because the rep has to sit there and listen through the ringing of each actual call. And then number 2, the second part is lead flow. Much like I discussed in point number 1, you need to have a go-to method for the leads that you control. Eventually, you need to either bring in an in-house digital marketer, or you need to actually invest to learn to create your own ads so that you can become more a self-sufficient broker or owner. Now, you can also generate a lot of appointments without that, but it just takes a little bit more muscle. And what I mean by that is cold calling opt-in data. This could be opt-in solar leads, this could be mortgage refinance leads, this could be roofing leads. There are many different types of leads that ultimately give us a digital door to talk to homeowners who might be looking to save money with solar. Now, disclaimer, you need to be careful here and make sure that you're scrubbing lists for numbers on the D&C and that you're familiar with the restrictions of cold calling leads. I made other videos on YouTube, man, where I gave out a script for our internal fresh leads process and that you guys were using it word for word on cold outreach. Luckily, we're able to prove it was in fact not us, so great job there. Number 2 is the lead source. So where are you actually going to get a consistent lead list for your appointment setters to call? There's a ton of options of lead lists out there, man, but to be honest, most of them suck. They're just brokering from another source and then adding their fee on top. So there's definitely tricks of the trade when finding and vetting the right vendors for lists. And then number 3 is compensation plans. So when it comes to hiring appointment setters, there's really 2 options. You hire setters who work for a small hourly or salary plus commission basis, or you run a virtual setter closer model. Option number 1 is great if you've got some resources for small wages or salaries. You can pay weekly or bi-weekly. Option 2 is great if you're okay with having bigger splits on deals. And again, you just want to run that virtual setter closer model. Both work. My advice is, if option 1, that you have a comp plan small enough but still drives performance with milestone achievements where people can keep promoting themselves. Otherwise, hourly paid salespeople never have the same type of urgency or skin in the game as full commission salespeople. And then number 4, recruiting. Now you have a good dialer, you have good lead sources, you have a great comp plans with structures that drive performance and reps can promote themselves. So now where do you go to get the reps, right? I've wasted a ton of money on places like Indeed for outside sales reps, but believe it or not, from my experience when it comes to inside sales people, those places is actually where they naturally go to find work. ZipRecruiter specifically has been really great for that. Now, I know a lot of people out there like to use offshore talent for inside sales these days because it's significantly cheaper to pay them, and you can literally have full-time appointment setters for as low as $200 per week, keeping your calendar full from calling the leads that you purchased online. Again, they're out there in big numbers to hire, and you can find them on freelancer websites and other sources, but it's the vetting them that takes a lot of time, energy, and effort. But I've personally succeeded with both, so you can make either work just depending on what your needs are. And then lastly, guys, point number 5, it's the training. The biggest things that owners and leaders underestimate is the learning curve when we bring in new people. So you know solar inside and out, but bringing in new people with different personalities and different ways of thinking and different ways of learning into your organization is totally different. You could attract a team of 30 that's dying to work for you tomorrow, but if you don't have a seamless onboard process that teaches them how solar works, provides them a script start to finish, objection training, live recorded calls that they can go back to, and frequently asked questions, again, that they can go back to time and time again, they're gonna feel unprepared. And if they feel unprepared, they won't produce. And then you will have just wasted a ton of money and a ton of time. And then because of the turnover, you take a hit to reputation. So instead, make sure you have a training course that's all digital, materials, videos, recorded call examples, so that they can go back to it time and time again, so they can stay prepared and stay trained. Your goal should be to go from hired to on the phone setting within 72 hours. And you do that by having a seamless onboarding process with really great digital training. If this is something that you know you need to implement in your business, but you don't have the time to go through the trial and error, you want that exact step-by-step process of what CRMs and dollars we use. What's the cost associated? How much am I gonna spend on all of this stuff put together? Where can I get proven lead lists that are scrubbed from DNC so I can remain legally compliant? How to build comp plans that drive performance so you don't always have to crack that whip and push your reps to dial more, and how you actually can find talent as low as $200 per week to set for you full time. And then where do you go and what do you say when hiring all these types of inside sales reps? Plus how you get the digital training set up so that you don't waste a ton of time on meetings and on reps who may or may not ever make it to the phones. If this sounds like what you need, I've created a step-by-step course on how to do just that with all the costs associated. So I'll show you how to run a call center with full-time agents without breaking the bank, spending as little as under $1,000 per month, with everything involved that it takes to run this month to month. My Build Your Call Center course is live, and for the next 10 days is 50% off. So you gotta act now for the best bang for your buck. But click the link below and get this thing today. I have a payment plan options as well, but you need to take over customer acquisition, guys. Become that elite broker, become that real business owner, and this is how you completely elevate your game and then separate yourselves from the teams that are only knocking doors in hopes of generating leads. You can still do that, but you know that you need to level up year to year, month per month to be that elite entrepreneur. Don't let another month of not having enough appointments pass you by. But that's it for today. I'll see you guys next time.